Hey! Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare! And you're watching the #1 show on Long Island with Monty and the Pharaoh.
I'm having one fun with Monty and the Pharaoh, and I'm going to put him in the crossface again, and he's going to go down right now. Yeah.
You're going to yell at me, the Pharaoh?
I am.
The return of Phil Brooks?
Oh,
CM Punk?
would you stop? Don't call him Phil Brooks. Would you? Now you're going to join in with this guy? All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monty the Pharaoh, produced here out of Indie Music TV in Long Island, New York. We are here with John Cena Sr. Mr. Cena, thank you for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, sir.
Well, thank you for allowing me to come on. It's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this.
And so have we. It's an honor, and thank you so much.
Same here, my friends.
Mr. Cena, I got to say, first of all, what a gentleman you are. To say that it's impressive that you have come on the show is really not saying it at all. You are the greatest sport I have probably ever come across. So thank you very much for coming on. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend, and thank you again.
So, John, we lost 12 Marines and 1 Navy serviceman today in the airport in an act of terrorism. We'd like to hear your thoughts about this situation.
Well, I guess I feel the same way as the Pharaoh does. You know, there reaches a point where you just can't say bye. The evacuation should have been handled a lot better, a lot better. I mean, I'm just a regular guy, and my thought would be, why not leave my troops there? Why not take out all my armor, my bullets, my guns, get all my people and the Afghans to safety, and then only then, remove my troops. Unfortunately, it was done, if I may, backwards. And now, as the Pharaoh said, the price is about to be paid. And I don't care what anybody says. We're going to hunt down, we're going to get you, we're going to do this. It's only the beginning. Only the beginning. And let's hope that it doesn't get any further than where it's at. But I fear for the worst.
So what are your viewpoints on my take on the world is so upside down at this point, but all the fame goes to some kid who just sits there crying, not a kid, a grown man, crying because some $1 million wrestler decided to come out of retirement. What are your thoughts on that?
A little imbalanced.
You got to explain that to me.
Well,
what do you mean?
CM Punk came back this week, and I'm a huge fan.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, and Mike always busts my balls because he's not. But matter of fact, he's a huge John Cena fan, and I'm a huge CM Punk fan. So when Punk came back, and it's been 7 long years, they showed a fan, and he was crying. And I knew right away this fan was in big trouble with my partner.
A grown man.
Yeah. Any thoughts on grown men crying over the return of pro wrestlers? Why not?
Let me say this, guys. I don't know if you're at WrestleMania when The Undertaker lost.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was there. I was there.
Nice.
I looked around me, and I saw grown men with tears in their eyes.
Wow.
You know, I saw women weeping. You know, it's my own personal thing. That streak never should have ended. Never.
Interesting.
Bill Moody, Paul Bearer, and I used to talk about that all the time.
Really?
If there was ever a streak that should never have ended, that's one. If all places to end that streak, it never should have been WrestleMania. When you see a grown man cry at the return of a wrestler, we all have an experience in life, different emotions, and react differently to other things. When I do, I like to do radio programs, and I'm a part of a group. We do readings, and when you come to a real a sympathetic part or a heartstring part, you know what I always find? Some people laugh. And it's not because they think it's funny. They don't want to cry. And so people have different ways of expressing it. You know, I think, and you're going to yell at me, Pharaoh?
I am.
The return of Phil Brooks? CM Punk?
Would you stop? Don't call him Phil Brooks. Would you? Now you're going to join in with this guy? What, did he deliver your mail this week?
I am.
Thank you, Phil. This is terrible. Go on.
But
go on.
I think CM Punk, you know, I had a chance to meet him.
Nice.
I was backstage with him when I did WWE Raw. And I'll tell you, he's a great human being. He loves the business. And, you know, he made it very clear it's not about the money. It's got to be right. I've got to love what I'm doing. I think it's a good gesture. And again, fans react differently to situations. So, you know, you may become so emotional that you don't even know that you're releasing those tears.
Interesting.
So it could be joy. It's not sadness. It's happiness. And so why begrudge anybody for expressing their feelings over something that they consider to be enjoyable, to be real, to be entertaining? I don't believe anybody should do that. I think what we need to do is maybe look in the mirror first, then turn around and look at that grown man for the return of CM Punk.
There we go. There we go.
You know, was I happy to see him back? Yes. He did the same thing he did in WWE with the pipe bomb situation. Will he be a draw? That remains to be seen. Daniel Bryan's coming in. I hope and pray Bray Wyatt comes in. That was a tremendous loss to the WWE. But people respond differently to situations.
What is Vince thinking lately with Bray Wyatt being gone and Daniel Bryan being gone and now CM Punk, the missed opportunity to bring him back to Vince's company with all the history and the bad blood and how they could have played off it with reality and they could have blurred the lines and it would have been amazing. What are they thinking? Can you help me out here? Vince has got me confused.
I don't think it's Vince alone. I think, you know, I think the world of Vince McMahon. He's a real decent, good human being, a great human being.
Awesome.
I can't help it. You know, WWE was very kind to me. They're a family to me. I just look at this and I'm saying we're cutting costs. For what reason? Why are you taking your best Braun Strowman?
Right.
They built him up to be the biggest giant in the world and turned him into a comedic idiot.
Right.
Bray Wyatt. When I was in the back with Bray Wyatt, I had a chance to sit and chat with him. And I'm a nobody. Let's get that straight. I'm no superstar, no hero. I'm just John Cena Sr., Johnny Fabulous. I have a great time doing it. And I said to Bray Wyatt, I said, you know what? You have the best gimmick going right now in WWE. If anybody should have beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, it should have been Wyatt. And the way that should have been done, he defeated him. The Undertaker sank into the middle of the ring. Smoke goes up. Wyatt grabs the urn, says, I've got the whole world in my hands. Nice. Lightning strikes. Nice. The Undertaker comes on and says, I will not rest in peace. What a storyline.
I like it.
What a storyline. Because he really didn't lose, you see? And then they take Daniel Bryan, who his contract was up, so he left on his own. He chose not to renew. Maybe it was a money question. Maybe he felt he wasn't being used right. Braun Strowman, I can't figure that one out. I can't figure out Bray Wyatt. I can't figure out some of these guys from NXT that are being let go. It's just inconceivable. And people that are saying, you know, AEW, who regardless of what anybody says, and I'll go toe-to-toe, they are competition.
They are.
There's no question that when you watch AEW, you're watching professional wrestling.
No doubt.
No big gimmick storylines, no 2-week title holds. Right. You know, the thing with Reigns and Cena, that went a whole month. Yippee, that was great.
Right.
Now Brock Lesnar's back. Come on.
Right.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes, absolutely. So, absolutely.
I just don't get it. And now Khan, who is the president there, seems to say when he was asked, is WWE for sale? I guess his retort was, no, we're not for sale, but whatever's good for business. And so if you notice the people that are being let go are those individuals that were money people. Now, the other thing is, I hear, well, the writing staff doesn't know what to do with them. Wait a minute. You know what? I'll bet you if the three of us sat down, we'd write a show that would probably blow them off the map.
Agreed.
So it's a case of having writers who never experienced professional wrestling. Why do you have a comedian in there writing wrestling?
Agreed.
Why do you not have people in that back room writing storylines that are meaningful, that have a series? Look at Bobby Lashley, great storyline. Roman Reigns, who I was not a fan of, but they did the right thing. They turned him heel and gave him one of the best mouthpieces in the world. Paul Heyman. See how it's working? But who's he going to face now?
Right.
Brock Lesnar all over again?
Right.
No, I'm sorry.
Right.
Do you think Vince McMahon, like the president, has lost his fastball? Shouldn't he be ceremonial at this point?
Ooh.
No. I will tell you this about Vince McMahon. That man probably gets 2 hours a night sleep. He works hard, he loves what he does, and he takes care of the people that work for him. I remember when I got that kick in the head from Randy Orton. Oof. I was back, and they were stitching me up a little bit, and I remember Vince standing at the door with his jacket in his hand, with his head down, just looking at me going, and now I'm going to make you chuckle. Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, walks by me and goes, well, I think we ought to at least clean the jacket and shirt. Oh, okay, whatever you say. But Vince is a genius in this business. I think what's happening is now, when you cook, or I make wine, you can see my wine gimmicks in the back. I make beer. I make it myself. Because if I put too many fingers in the pie, it never works.
Oh, yeah.
And so now you've got ideas coming in from the writers, Paul Levesque, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon. I'm sure Shane O'Mac's there. And Vince, he has reached a point in life where he's become very, very successful. He will always love that product. I joke once in a while, I say, when Vince goes home, when he passes away, they'll probably have to take the cell phone out of his pocket because he'll find a way to answer it. He's just that dedicated to this business. So I don't think Vince McMahon should take a back seat. I think it's wrong for people to blame Vince McMahon for what they see. It's only the circle. And sometimes you get overridden. Even though, I will tell you this, having been there, having worked there, what he says goes. But that doesn't mean he's not open. That doesn't mean he won't listen. So I think you're wrong to say it's Vince's fault. Right. I think there's a lot of situations that need to be addressed there.
John, your son's done so much for the fans with his Make-A-Wish charity. He's a legend. But as a father, what did you do to instill that kind of a humanity and empathy in him?
I have 5 sons.
Okay.
All 5 of my sons are champions. I raised my boys the way I was raised. I come from an Italian family. We grew up with love. We grew up with caring. And we grew up helping others, working to make sure others had what we didn't have. What does everybody hate? Somebody who's rich, somebody who demeans those who don't have, makes fun of people, puts their guy over. And so, who would we call this guy? Johnny Cash? That's not going to work. Johnny Money? No. I said, whatever it is, it's got to be Fabulous. Johnny Fabulous was born. And from there on in, it became Johnny Fabulous. And then when I went to the WWE for that stint with Randy Orton and Edge, that became John Cena Sr.
Who was your favorite wrestler growing up? Was there a Hulk Hogan? For me, it's Hulk Hogan.
Nah.
Brother, let me tell you something, brother. I'm not really into that stuff, brother.
I'll tell you who my favorite wrestler was. Bruno Sammartino.
Okay.
That man was amazing. You had Pedro Morales, another great, outstanding athlete. You had the Wolfman. We had people and characters in those days.
We love the Wolfman.
We got a Wolfman shout out. Nice.
Yep, they were believable. And those are the people that I followed. I remember one night I was at the Boston Garden. I was working, going through school, going through college, and I was writing the sports column on professional wrestling. And so I would get free tickets if I wrote the column. Well, the night that Bruno Sammartino lost, they were actually smashing chairs. And Larry Zabisco, another good friend, told me that when the situations happened with Bruno Sammartino, they actually had to bring him into Boston Garden in the trunk of a car. They tipped the car over. Oh, it was crazy, crazy. So those are some of the guys that I look up to. Strongbow is another man that you can't help but like. He only had one move. Tomahawk chop, that was it. Did I like any bad guys?
Yeah, heels, like the
Yeah,
Greg,
I did.
the
I
Greg
know.
Valentines, the Magnificent Moroccos. Where's Roddy Piper? Anybody like that?
I know what a heel is because Johnny Fabulous is a heel.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to tell you something, Pharaoh, and it goes like this. I'm not going to hand you a hand and give you a kiss. I'm going to tell you this. It's quite the deal. You're looking at Fabo, son, and I'm a friggin' heel. So I'm going to tell you the guys that I like best. Sit back, son, and listen to the rest.
Sitting back.
So here it is. The guys that I like. Classy, Freddie Blassie.
Nice.
I did a lot of shows, God rest his soul, with Captain Lou Albano.
Excellent.
Often imitated, but never duplicated.
Never.
I could, I look at some of the guys out there. Stan Stasiak
Ooh.
with his heart punch. Some of those guys I enjoyed. I enjoyed watching them. They were believable. You didn't hate them. Sometimes you were sad they lost and the way they lost. Greg Valentine.
Ah,
Good.
That's Pharaoh's favorite.
that's my
Valentine.
all-time favorite, Greg Valentine.
Let me tell you, he is a great, great person.
Oh.
Hello, Greg.
The Dream Team. What'd you think about the Dream Team?
Ooh.
Was it really a dream?
Oh, no.
To me, they were. So let me ask you, John. The return of John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Becky Lynch, and Phil Brooks.
See,
Which, in your opinion, was the most impressive on the return?
Wow. Wow.
I think the deal with Becky, the way she left, the way she came back, a squash in 3 minutes, sorry. I'll tell you who impressed me was Edge. He has not lost it.
No.
The Brood, him and Rollins put on one hell of a match.
I thought it would be the best match of the night. I agree.
I was so impressed by that. And Adam Copeland, if I may use his name,
Sure.
is probably one of the best. I worked with him. He's a great guy, a great professional wrestler. I remember when John and he were in Canada, I was there, and they had the table stacked up. John was on the ladder, and he had Edge on his shoulders for the FU then. And I saw John shake his head, and you could hear Edge say, now. And when Edge went through those tables, was knocked out, and Edge's mother was behind me, and all I could hear was, oh, my God. But there's a tremendous athlete. I think the return of Cena was good. I think it was well done.
Excellent.
I just think WWE should have put a swerve in there. The last night on SmackDown, when I said, well, there's a chance. We're going to have a 17-time world champion. And then as soon as Roman Reigns extended his hand, and this is what I mean about storylines and writers, I don't get it. He extends his hand and said, I'll tell you what, I'll do one better. If I lose, I'll leave WWE.
Right.
Come on, guys.
Right.
It's a loss.
Yeah.
What I would have done?
Agreed. That's what I thought. Agreed.
Well, I didn't like it. What's the point of watching the show? Tell me that. I don't understand.
Yep.
I don't mind paying money, but if I can come to the end before you.
Right.
And then I was watching and I said to somebody, you know what? I'm going to put $10 on the table right now. Lesnar's coming out. No way. All right. What happened after Cena took the beat down?
Yep. There it is.
See, I think what should have happened was Cena should have won that. That would have been the swerve. Paul Heyman would have intervened and said, hold it. There was no contract, nothing in writing. He doesn't leave the WWE. As a matter of fact, tomorrow night or at Madison Square Garden, there'll be a rematch.
Interesting.
Let Rand have it back. I mean, I don't care what's going to happen. Brock Lesnar's going to go in now. We're going to have the same old thing all over again. And people are going to complain all over again. We've got a part-time champion. Unless the deal is, who does Roman Reigns really have left to fight? He's just going to keep going through these older stars, and he's just going to beat each one? It's beginning to not make sense anymore.
Interesting.
So I think that they should have had a swerve in there.
Oddly enough, I thought that it was all great theater anyway. Is there something wrong with me? Because I did think the same things you did, and I do agree with what you just said. But yet somehow, maybe it's to the credit of your son, of to Roman, of to Brock, of to Paul. That was great theater.
Yep.
I loved it, and I'm actually very intrigued to see what happens between Paul, Brock, who he was an advocate for, and Roman. This is very interesting to me. So to me, there is something here, but yes, I agree they're re-exploring the Lesnar thing. John, while I got you, I have to ask you, because I don't know when we'll speak again. I'm asking for your opinion. Will we ever see the day that John Cena is a heel? Because there are Roman Reigns for years, they wanted Roman to be a heel. Roman became a heel, and he felt reborn, he felt fresh. There is people out there that want to see John turn heel. Do you think, your opinion, will it ever happen? Is there any chance?
There was a point in time where Cena had all the gear ready for a heel turn.
Really?
And that never happened.
Wow.
In my personal opinion, and I'm like I say, I don't know any more than you do. Okay. I watch, I listen, and I try to analyze. I don't think you'll ever see Cena turn heel.
Oh man, I would love to see it. I got to be honest. I would love to see it. By any chance, did you get to see? Did you ever get to see the gear? You're telling me he had his gear. I don't expect you to reveal it. Did it look cool?
No, I never saw it. Never saw it.
I could just imagine.
That was all over the internet, and I think the reason you can't do it with Cena, look at his affiliation with Make-A-Wish.
Right.
I mean, look at what he does out there for beyond Make-A-Wish, and I don't think people see the other things that he does.
Understood.
Beyond that.
Understood.
Helping people out. John is a great philanthropist, and he likes to help. So to turn him heel, I think it would destroy years and years of what WWE and John Cena and the organization have worked to create. So I personally, and again, I reiterate, I cannot tell you anything because I don't know. But I'm saying I don't ever expect to see it. And now I'm going to really slap one down. I don't ever expect to see a 17-time world champion.
Oh, what makes you say that? If I can get you to elaborate maybe a little more?
The perfect time to do that would have been the Reigns thing. Now, he's gone. He'll be gone after Madison Square Garden. Where he goes, I don't know. I don't talk business with him. We don't talk wrestling. I try to stay away from that. So, if he does come back, in order for him to get that strap, it can't be a 30-day stint. I don't think that's fair to the fans, the WWE fans. It's not fair at all. So if he were coming back for a 2 to 3 month stand, I think then there might be a chance of, Cena getting 17-time world champion. I have a lot of respect for Ric Flair. I've done a lot of shows with Rick and Mick Foley, and, I've had a lot of fun. I don't really think there's a need to break anybody's record. I think that both men have cemented their own legacies in the world of professional wrestling.
We did a show
I'm getting worried.
that
what do you mean?
you heard, right? The most uninteresting man in wrestling.
Oh, God.
So now it's
Please,
your opportunity to take a shot at us.
Oh, great. Can I
Here
hold
you
my
go.
ears until he's done? Because he's going to
Take a shot.
Do what?
He's going
Take a shot at
Why
Monty and
Take a
Farrow.
shot at us. I'm going to hold my ears. Go ahead, Mr. Cena.
You know what, guys?
We deserved it.
Here's the deal. You know what?
talking?
You know how I smile all the time. I remember doing a show in Sturbridge. I was a heel. I came out with my guy. I told him that Sturbridge stunk. The porta potties on 128 smelled better than Sturbridge. And what happened to me? I got a beer thrown in my face and a woman's false teeth, and she said, "Get the out of Sturbridge."
Job well
So,
done.
and then I had to be escorted in Lynn by the state police into to my car in the parking lot. They're afraid I'd be shot. You know what, guys? Words don't bother me. I've learned a long time ago to take it from whence it comes. The statement you made, I analyzed and look at it, and I say, you know what? These guys are having fun. If you meant it, I'm sure you would have taken it further. You would have gone a lot further. I have no reason at all to take a shot at Monty and the Pharaoh. Why would I do that?
God, thank God.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh, my God. Oy.
All right, well, then I got to challenge you with one other thing.
What are you doing? What now? You're
All right,
pushing
we
it.
have, we have something called the John Cena Senior Challenge, where you have to say John Cena Senior 5 times
dude,
fast.
I
If you
can't-
could get it, you'll win you'll win a Monty and a Pharaoh free pair of sunglasses.
Would you please? But
Wanna
if he pulls
let's
this
take a
off-
shot.
Can
Can you
you
do it?
actually say your name 5 times fast?
5 times.
That's
John
not
Cena
fair.
Senior.
I have trouble saying it once. For me to
So
say
what?
John Cena Senior, John Cena Senior, John Cena Senior. You know what? I said it 5 times, brother. I like your show. 2 professionals, 2 men interested in the world of professional wrestling, presenting it as it should be presented. And you, my friend, should be commended for that, because there are a lot of other podcasts out there that just don't do that job. So congratulations, and I really, really want to thank you both for allowing me to come on your show. Hope I can do it again sometime. I'd like to extend an invitation to the both of you. If you're ever in this area, you look me up, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Kowloon restaurant in Saugus, Mass. That's my old stomping grounds. I go there all the time.
We're not
I
banned?
would-
We're not banned. I heard we were banned from this place. The one he just
Where?
named.
Kowloon?
I thought we might be banned. I don't know. Go on,
Who?
sir. Go
I heard there was some poison duck for me over there.
Well, that-